5 minutes every day. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. This morning ritual may seem simple, almost too small to matter. But the truth is, these small acts of care have a way of stacking up. Like bricks building a bridge. They form something steady, something lasting. You may not notice a difference after the first day, or even the third. But one morning, you'll stand up and realize your knees don't groan quite as loudly. You'll walk to the kitchen without pausing halfway. You'll make it to the garden without needing the rail. And that's when it will hit you. You didn't grow stronger by chance. You did it by choosing to try, choosing to care. Because that's what real strength is, especially at this age. Not youth, not muscle, but devotion. And devotion, my friend, doesn't come in thunderclaps. It arrives in silence. In that quiet moment before breakfast, when you reach for your vitamins and whisper, "I still matter." Maybe you spent years taking care of others, a spouse, children, neighbors. Maybe you forgot yourself along the way. But now, in this season of life, you get to return to that center, to treat your body with the same gentleness you once gave to everyone else. And what a gift that is. To become your own caretaker, your own healer, your own reminder that it's never too late to walk a little taller. You don't have to climb mountains. You just need to rise each day with the intention to walk, across the room, across the yard, across whatever life puts in front of you. That 5-minute ritual, it's not just a health routine, it's a love letter to your future self. The one who still wants to dance at their great-grandchild's wedding. The one who wants to feel the grass under their feet at 94. The one who doesn't want to be remembered for slowing down, but for never stopping. So start there, with 5 minutes, with breath, and stretch, and strength, and let it grow. Let it become part of your life, not a chore, but a rhythm. A quiet beat that says, I am still moving forward even now, especially now. Gerald, 96, walks to his mailbox each morning. Slowly, carefully, but without help. He doesn't rush. He doesn't stumble. His hands stay tucked behind his back, his head tilted to the sun. Neighbors used to ask if he was training for something, or maybe just stubborn. He would smile and reply, "No, I'm just showing up for my legs." What Gerald understood, and what many of us forget, is that strength doesn't disappear all at once. It fades gently, like light at dusk. But that also means it can return the same way, if you invite it back day by day. Then there's Lila. At 85, Lila fell in her kitchen, a soft clatter against tile and silence. It wasn't a bad fall, but the doctor looked her in the eye and said, "From now on, you might need a walker." That one sentence hit her harder than the floor, but Lila didn't accept it. Instead, she did something rare for someone her age. She began again. With small leg lifts in bed, gentle stretches before lunch, her daughter started cooking with foods high in magnesium and protein, and they added an omega-3 supplement to her tea routine. It wasn't magic. It was patience. It took months before Lila could walk to the garden again. But when she did, she cried. Not because of the flowers, but because she got there on her own 2 feet. These stories aren't just inspiring, they're instructive. They remind us that our bodies, even in their later years, are still listening, still responding, still healing, slowly but faithfully, when treated with care. And what about Thomas and Edna? Thomas is 94. Edna is 92. They've been married 67 years and counting. They walk every afternoon, rain or shine. Not far, just once around the block. But they hold hands, always. Thomas says it keeps him upright. Edna says it keeps her heart steady. Their secret? Cheddar cheese with breakfast. 15 minutes of sunlight on the porch. A magnesium supplement they both take with evening tea. And laughter. Every day, about something small. They don't move fast, but they move together. And in that quiet, sacred rhythm, they have found a kind of youth that no wrinkle can erase. These are real people, real elders. Not fitness models or influencers, but folks like you. Folks who simply chose to move, a little, stretch a little, and believe in their legs again. You see, we often assume that at a certain age, decline is inevitable. That independence is a memory, not a future. But that belief is more damaging than age itself. What if we flip the story? What if instead of saying, "I'm too old to walk far," we said, "Every step I take is a victory"? What if instead of thinking, "I can't do what I used to," we thought, "I can still do something, and that matters"? Because it does. You do. Your ability to move, to rise, to walk even a few feet with strength. It's not just about mobility. It's about dignity. It's about keeping the door open to life. When you walk, you visit friends. When you walk, you fetch your own cup of tea. When you walk, you dance at your granddaughter's wedding, even if it's just a slow sway. That's the power of movement. And these vitamins, the quiet little helpers we often forget about, play a mighty role in keeping that power alive. So yes, listen to the stories of those who've gone ahead of you. Let their quiet victories echo in your heart. Then ask yourself, what could my story look like if I started today? Because no matter your age, your story isn't finished. Not if you still have a step left in you. If there's one truth that grows clearer with age, it's this: the smallest things make the biggest difference. When we're young, we chase after big moments, celebrations, achievements, applause. But as we grow older, our hearts begin to understand something deeper. That life is built in the in-between, in the quiet rituals, the careful step down the stairs, the morning light through the kitchen window, the pause to tie a shoelace without falling. It's in those moments that the soul breathes, and caring for your legs, your strength, your steadiness. It's not just a physical practice. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's a way of telling your body, "Thank you for carrying me all these years. I haven't forgotten you." Because here's the honest truth. These 6 vitamins we've talked about, vitamin D3, B12, omega-3s, magnesium, calcium, and vitamin K2, yes, they matter. They support your bones, your muscles, your nerves. They reduce pain, increase mobility, and keep your heart strong. But they're not just nutrients. They're tools for hope. Hope that you can still visit the places you love. Hope that you can still walk to the mailbox, take the dog out, join your family at the park. Hope that you won't have to rely on someone else for every small thing. Isn't that what we all want? Not just long life, but independent life. Life where your steps still belong to you. And let's not pretend it's easy. There are days when the knees ache, when your back groans, when the body feels heavier than it used to, slower than you remember. But every time you take your vitamins with breakfast, every time you choose a walk instead of another hour in the chair, every time you stretch even a little, you are saying, "I'm not giving up." Not on yourself, not on your freedom, not on the simple joys still waiting outside your door. It's not weakness to take your health seriously. It's wisdom. You've lived enough years to know what happens when we ignore small problems. So why not give your body a little more love now before the real trouble starts? Because prevention is the best medicine. And peace of mind, knowing you're doing your part, that's a gift to yourself and to the people who love you. Let them see you trying. Let them see you caring for yourself. Let them witness in you the quiet courage of someone who still shows up for life. That's how leg strength becomes something more than just physical. It becomes a symbol of presence, of dignity, of refusing to let age take away what matters. Most, your ability to stand tall and walk forward. No one else will do this for you. No one can, but you. You can take the next step, and the next, and slowly with grace, write a new chapter in your story. One where you're not just alive, but living. The chair in the living room sits in the same spot it always has. But lately, you find yourself leaving it more often. It's not because someone told you to, not because a doctor warned you, but because you made a quiet decision to reclaim your strength. You didn't wait for a miracle. You started with what you had. A handful of vitamins, a stretch by the window, 5 minutes of movement before the kettle whistles. And that changed everything. Not overnight, not dramatically, but deeply. One day you realized your legs didn't tremble when you rose. The cane stayed resting in the corner. your balance steadied, your back straightened, and your spirit, it rose with you. Because what you did wasn't just about health. It was about hope. Hope that at 70, 80, or 94, your body still remembers how to be strong, that healing isn't reserved for the young, that independence is still possible. One step at a time. There's power in that. Not just the power to walk, but the power to choose. To go outside instead of staying in. To say yes to invitations. To attend birthdays, weddings, even funerals, on your own feet, with dignity. Imagine this. You're standing in your garden. It's morning. Birds are busy. The air is soft. And there you are, steady smiling, not holding on to a walker, not waiting to be helped, just standing because you can. Your body, worn but wise, has come through for you. Because you came through for it. And that's the lesson, isn't it? We don't control time. We don't choose how many years we're given. But we do choose how we spend them. How we care for ourselves. How we greet each day, with surrender, or with quiet resolve. 6 vitamins. 6 small acts of care. Each one a promise. I still matter. I still want to walk through life, not just be carried by it. I still have stories left in me, and I intend to live them. So today, don't just sit and listen. Rise, stretch. Take your first step toward strength, toward freedom, toward the life still waiting for you to walk it. Because if Gerald can walk to the mailbox at 96, if Lila can reclaim her garden after a fall, if Thomas and Edna can still walk hand in hand after 67 years, then so can you. You've made it this far, through storms, heartaches, victories, and loss. And you're still here, still standing. That alone is a miracle. So take your vitamins, take your time, but above all, take your next step. You've earned it. If this story moved you, share it with someone you care about.